This is Oldecam Pro FM with comments on the headlines of the day. Not a spring chick isn't here today, even though the weather is good, because she simply ran out of time to be able to get here. Kosovo declares independence from Serbia. Serbia immediately denounced the declaration as illegal, and Russians also rejected it on the grounds that if you keep letting people split off from one another, soon all the countries in the world are going to have little independent states in them. Suicide bomber kills 80 in Afghanistan. You know, they know that the troops are starting to pull out and they're going to take control. Bush keeps the abstinence and AIDS program. It's once again the United States pushing a morality on people that simply don't like our morality. The majority of those in the workforce today are over the age of 54. Maybe if advertising agencies and companies started getting that through their head, they might sell more products. FEMA not providing promised mobile homes. Well, see, they provided things to people that people are already complaining about, so they're not likely to provide more that people are going to complain about. McCain gets 50 delegates from Michigan and Louisiana, and Mike Huckabee is very displeased, saying it's a violation of the rules because these delegates should have all been his. Haiti's efforts to save trees falters. Well, very soon Haiti is going to be nothing but a rock, and the people are going to realize that you cut down all the trees, you screw the watershed up, and your country becomes a desert. Clinton backers' fall campaign. They said that she's running on experience of which they know she has none of, and people are basically laughing at it. Obama to be president by default because McCain is old and McCain is white. I mean, that's so racist and basically telling old people they aren't worth anything. NASCAR returns to basics and hope fans will return to NASCAR. NASCAR has the same problem as the electronics consumer industry. They think they have a product that nobody is buying because of the product. The problem is simply there's only so many dollars to go around, and they're not putting it into NASCAR races because rent and food is more important. Formaldehyde and cancer, what you need to know. Well, you need to understand that formaldehyde is used to bomb people, so it's not really good for you. Gore emerges as power broker while Clinton hopes for a lifeline. Well, basically what it amounts to is that Obama is not going to give in, Clinton's not going to give in, and if you have a brokered convention, Al Gore is likely to be the choice. Smaller version of solar system is discovered. When I was a kid, when we're talking way back, there were thousands of possible solar systems in the universe. So this little one is just not big news. Danish youth riot for the 7th straight night, many arrested. It's a minority of the people trying to impress their religious viewpoint on the majority of the people. Iraq, Syria, Iran might aid retaliation in Moghali's killing. Well, certainly. Political air is less rosy than Putin on the state of Russia. Well, he realizes, as in the Soviet sphere, they only have a limited amount of money to spend on things, and when they run out of money, they're going to get very angry at the people in charge. Former President Bill Clinton said that voters who want to feel better about universal health care, but they don't really care much about how they get it. Well, he's right. I mean, if you give a free lunch, nobody cares how they get the lunch. They just want the lunch. Obama depends on young voters to make him the candidate of the people, and unfortunately, young voters historically do not come out and vote. Fingerprints lead to arrest of man and killing of the doctor in New York. Well, if they had the fingerprints, then they certainly didn't need all of the medical records of the doctors, then did they? Hispanics are nearly twice as likely as whites to be left out without television service following the nationwide transition to digital broadcasting next year, according to a new survey. Well, the last time I heard, white people had just as many analog sets as Latins, so we're all in the same boat. HD versus Blu-ray, everyone loses. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody that's bought one or the other basically is stuck because they're not going to get anything back, and it's also a service that nobody wanted in the first place. Clinton losing the demographics in Texas and Ohio, according to the news. Of course, she's still leading by massive amounts, but the news people have already written her off in both states. Canada's oil sands, a massive disaster. Green Group says it's producing vast amounts of greenhouse gases and poisoning local water supplies. That's the problem. Anytime you want to change the way you're doing it, you're just going to compound the problems that you had before. Former Nazi guard extradited from Canada arrives in Italy on Saturday to serve a life sentence for war crimes committed there during World War II. You know, there comes a point when it's ridiculous sending somebody that's in their 80s and 90s to jail for the rest of their life. I mean, they might not even survive going to jail. It was seen that in 2008 we wouldn't need the gimmick of a special month to highlight the accomplishments and contributions African Americans have made to American society. The problem is we have Jewish people around the world demanding we remember the Holocaust. We have Armenians saying we must remember this. We have the Irish saying we must remember this. It seems like there is a great demand that we must revisit the sins of our fathers upon that of their children. Flash drive offers new choices for music fans. Well, the flash drive is the means of downloading in the future. You take your flash drive to a kiosk, download what you want and go home. It saves a fortune in producing DVDs and CDs. NBC apologizes for Jane Fonda's offensive word. You know, a few years ago when a person her age or my age said something really stupid, they just considered it to be really stupid. Now they're having to apologize for the fact that they're old and say dumb things. UN Security Council is to meet on Kosovo. Russia is throwing a fit right now, and they're going to say no. It's going to happen. They're still going to say no. Female suicide bomber strikes in Baghdad. You know, basically, if you can't win an election, kill people. Pakistan campaign rally bombing kills 40. You know, same answer as above. Money bulletins from Mark Twain to the Animal Kingdom. Doing the right thing often leads to bad things as a result of what was meant to be a good deed.